On. Is he with golf champ?
Chris, yeah, one fan over there. Okay. Yeah. What's his? Is there issues with it?
I don't know. They said they saw it in the switch, so I'm not sure what he was saying to.
Okay.
I'll ask. I'll just go ahead and join if that's alright.
Yeah, still waiting for JD to confirm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we have one more minute till it's officially supposed to start.
Yeah.
So I figure we'll just let them know we're ready.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Thomas.
Hello, John. I'm muted.
Yeah, shoot. First day. There we go.
What's up, JB?
I'm doing good. It's good to see you.
You too.
Right. We'll go ahead and get started. We'd like to welcome Justin Thomas into the virtual interview room here at the CJ Cup at Summit, making his season debut. Justin, first of all, if we could get you to recap last year. You finished 4th in the FedEx Cup with a win at the Players. So if you'd recap last year and then talk a little bit about your goals for this season.
Last year it was an up and down year. I mean, I got started off pretty well. Had some kind of this time in the year in the fall I was playing well, and then played well there in Hawaii, and just and really just kind of had a little bit of an up and down patch, and I just wasn't showing the consistency that I feel like I could, or just kind of finishing off tournaments how I felt like I could. You know, I was close to playing well for a while, but just wasn't really able to get much result wise out of it. And then obviously the Players was nice to win that event, and at least you know, kind of try to build a little bit of momentum, and it was a little bit more of the same kind of as the rest of the year went on. But I really feel like I kind of found some good stuff there at the end of the season and into the playoffs, to where I started playing a little bit better, and hopefully we'll be able to take some of that into this fall and into the 21-22 season.
All right, and you're making your 5th start at the CJ Cup with 2 wins. I was just told that you have a nickname in Korea, that you are the icon of the CJ Cup. Just talk a little bit about what this tournament means to you with 2 wins.
Yeah, that's a cool nickname. I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I wish we could be spending this time in Jeju Island. I have a lot of great memories there. Developed a lot of great friendships and relationships. I mean, it's a cool place, and golf is so unique that we're able to travel the world and go to different places. And I mean, it's a great week. I mean, the golf course, the food, the hotel. Obviously, the travel's a little bit easier this week, just coming to Vegas versus Jeju. But it's yeah, I mean, it's a great tournament, and it's great to see a lot of familiar faces, and hopefully we can recreate some of the good memories here in Vegas.
All right, we'll get started with questions, and we're going to go to Steve DeMeglio with USA Today.
JT, I know you've been with Bones has been on the bag with you. You've won with Bones, but is there a time element for you to get comfortable with him, or have you already reached that point?
I think it's going to be something where we'll just kind of learn. You know, I think obviously I'm comfortable right now, and I think he's comfortable now. But I'm sure as more and more events go on, like anything, as you just get better and better. At least that's the hope. And you know, I think that's an exciting part about it, is that, you know, we're already very confident. I feel like we can do a lot of great things, but at the same time, you know, we're just going to continue to learn and know each other better and better, and hopefully get more and more comfortable. So to answer your question, yeah, we feel very comfortable, but there's always going to be things that, like I said, we're going to learn about each other as we go on, and I think we're both very excited and looking forward to that.
And I know you're major champion, FedEx Cup Player of the Year, all that. You've won a bunch of tournaments. You played a great Ryder Cup in 18, but what did you get out of the Ryder Cup this year?
Man, it was so much fun. It was such a great group of guys, and we really truly did play as one big team, and it just everybody. I don't know. I had that feel as soon as we got to the practice session and we all played. Everybody just got along so well, and it was just we were all laughing, we were all having fun, we're all happy, but we're competitive. I mean, we had some great money games and practice rounds and ping pong, whatever it is. We all have that competitive side, but I don't know if it's just the age of the guys in the team to where we're maybe just a little bit more laid back or whatnot. But I just think we're all fiery and competitive, but we also like to have a good time, and I think it was a great mixture. So, I mean, I took a lot out of it just because of how well we did and how well all the vice captains did for us. But it just was it was fun. I mean, playing my first one, and in the U.S. and being able to have such a dominant victory like that was very, very special.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, let's go to Greg Robertson with the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Hey, Justin, I'm curious, one, if you've ever played Summit before or had ever seen it before, and then how you would approach the week. Harris says this is a week where Tuesday and Wednesday you just got to put in a ton of work, and Brooks says you've done this your whole careers, you just show up and play. So how do you approach a course you don't know?
Somewhere in the middle of those two answers, but I have been here before. My mom's 60th birthday and my girlfriend's birthday are actually the same day, and a couple years ago we came out here before I played at Riviera just to celebrate their birthday, and Mike Meldman, who owns this place, is a very good friend of mine and was fortunate enough to where we were able to come out. And Dexter Fowler's a member here who I'm buddies with just from being in Jupiter, so he took us out and we played, and it was it made today and this weather the next couple of days look like a hot summer day because it was about 45 and a 25-mile-an-hour north wind, and it was brutal. So I think we played like 13 or 14 holes, so I remember it somewhat, but it wasn't exactly the most ideal first experience of the course, but at least I have seen it and know somewhat what it's like. But yeah, I mean, these next couple of days I mean, I came out and practiced yesterday before it started, blowing 1,000, and then I'm just going to work these next couple of days to try to get comfortable and feel like I have control of everything. And then once we get out there, I'm sure I'll be a little rusty to start just in terms of the mindset and kind of tournament aspect of it, if you will. But hopefully it'll come back to me sooner rather than later.
Do you think players like Colin and Maverick have an advantage since it's their home course, or?
Yeah. I mean, obviously they're really good players, so that's an advantage in itself. But I mean, anytime you're going to play your home golf course, that's a huge advantage over anybody else. So I think all of us, when it came out, we were looking at Colin and Mav, and they had little smiles on their faces as they were obviously excited. But at the end of the day, you still got to put the ball in the hole.
And what are your impressions of the course, just in general?
It's good. I mean, it's like I said, I just played that once. I mean, I remember it, being the desert-like and having some altitude, hitting way downhill, hitting uphill or elevation change. I mean, and although we are playing at quite high altitude, but it's all, at least from what I remember, it's all pretty right in front of you, and it's not really too much tricked up or hidden. And I would think that the scores will be pretty low this week.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, let's go to Chris Datris with Golf Channel.
Hey, Justin. USGA put out some news today about local rule maximizing club length at 46 inches. I wanted to get your reaction to that.
Yeah, I don't really agree with it. I mean, I think it's, I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's a lot other things, like the armbar putter that they should be approaching as opposed to, the length of driver. I think the fact that you see only a few people using a long driver speaks for itself, that it's not really that big of an advantage. I mean, it's a lot harder to hit it straight. So in terms of, do I think it makes the game of golf and growing the game better? No, I don't at all. But they seem to have their kind of mind around that for a while now. So that seems to be the issue, because if there's an amateur golfer or other, players at home that want to hit a little bit farther, so be it. Or if there's guys out here that want to have the chance to be able to try to put it in play with the 47, 48-inch driver, then power to them. I mean, I had that opportunity. I just chose not to. So I don't necessarily agree with it, but it is what it is.
Thanks, sir.
Hmm.
Okay, let's go to Doug Ferguson with the Associated Press.
Do you know what the altitude is in Las Vegas?
3,600 feet here, I believe.
I think it's 2,000, but I don't think you looked it up either.
Yeah, I did.
A couple of offbeat questions, if you don't mind. You seem to be friends with a lot of famous people, or important people, whatever. And if you go back to your younger days, just starting out, when you became famous yourself through performance, do you recall any time where you were hanging or with buddies with someone who was really important, and what was that like?
I don't really know. I still don't view myself that way.
You're famous. No, no.
I know, but I don't look at myself that way. I mean, it's just a golfer, but not really. I feel like other athletes is where I spend a lot of time with, in terms of, I guess if you want to call it, famous people, just because of a lot of, like, baseball spring training guys spend a lot of time in Jupiter. So and then with my agency, Excel, like, I've developed some relationships with those guys. And so many other athletes love golf. It's so funny to me. So that's always interesting. In terms of answering your question, I can't think of like one time in particular. So I pretty much,
like, I'm hanging with someone and this is kind of cool.
I mean, hanging with Tiger, like that was. I mean, when you look at it as,
He's just a golfer.
no, he's not. He's a little bit more than that.
All right. Other question on the fall. How do you build a schedule up until Kapalua?
I mean, I want to play some, but also I really am looking forward to the time off. I mean, I think that this season this year was the busiest I've had. It was the most that it's worn on my body and in my mind. So, I mean, just kind of that, like, July, I guess it was July stretch where I was, Scottish, British, Olympics, Memphis, playoffs. It all happened, and Ryder Cup, it all happened so fast, and was a lot of travel, and I'm very excited. Usually in my off season, I can't wait to take vacations. I can't wait to go somewhere, and I'm like, I'm ready to be home for 2 weeks and sleep in my own bed. So I want to play in a couple events. I'm playing here, and then Mayakoba and Hero, and then hopefully Pops will be good to go for father-son, and we can have some fun there, but we'll see.
You played Mayakoba before?
I have. I played last year. Good job, Doug.
Got 200 other people to pay attention to, buddy. All right, last one, and then I'll hang up. You played on 4 teams now, I think. Did I do okay there?
You did.
Thank you. What do you do with the clothes? What do you do with all your... The first one I kept, just because I'm like, it's my first team event, and same with the Ryder Cup. I was like, it's my first Ryder Cup, and then I quickly realized that's like, I'm not gonna wear this stuff anywhere. I mean, I left all my clothes. I remember in actually, it's not true. In Liberty, I kept a couple things, but I remember Ryder Cup, I kept a lot of stuff, and then it sat in my closet for so long, and I never wore any of it. I mean, the T-shirts and hats, whatever, stuff like that, but I mean, I'm not going to go out to the golf course like in a Team USA Ryder Cup or President's Cup shirt. So I always just tell the PGA or the PGA Tour or whoever, President's Cup or Ryder Cup, just donate it to the local first tee, because they're going to get a lot more use out of it than I do. Did you leave anything in your room at Whistling Straits?
Everything. Everything.
Left them go.
Yeah. That's not true. I took some hats. I took a couple T-shirts. But yeah, I mean, same thing. I did it in Australia too. I was just like, there's so much stuff that I'm trying to not be a hoarder, and I'm just going to take it home. It's going to sit in my closet. Someone else is going to get a lot more use out of this. The memories are good enough for me.
Thank you. I got time for the week.
Okay, we'll wrap it up with, we'll go back to Greg Robinson with Las Vegas Procedure.
Interesting. I asked Colin about this as well. Last week at Shriners, the Ryder Cup guys that played, most of them missed the cut and the others didn't contend at all. Do you think there's a hangover after the Ryder Cup, and do you feel a hangover trying to get back to the grind?
No, I think a place like last week, I mean, I guess in this week too, it's just when scores are that low, if you're not totally clicking, totally on, you know, you can be playing okay, or you can do all right and just not really make any putts, or just, you know, maybe make a mental mistake here or there and then shoot 1 or 2 under for 2 days and you miss the cut. At a place like last week where the scores are so low, you just don't have as much room for error. So I would say that's the biggest part of it, because I mean, I know for myself, I mean, I had to force myself to start practicing on Tuesday last week. It just was like I didn't really want to. You know, I enjoyed the downtime. My clubs, when I got home from Wisconsin, they just sat right there in my living room, and they didn't get touched until I went to practice on Mondays or on Tuesday. So I think a lot of it was just enjoying the time off and really needing that mental refresh, total break. So I think it just was a little bit of rust, and then I'm sure as more and more guys go play, or more rounds, you know, then kind of like I was talking about earlier, you get over the little bit of rust, maybe just a little bit of control you have over everything. So I don't think it's necessarily a Ryder Cup hangover as much as just a not really enjoying your downtime hangover, if you will.
Yeah. Do you think you're over the hangover? You're ready to go this week?
Not right now, but I will be come Thursday. That's what these practice days are for.
All right, thanks.
All right, Justin, thank you for your time and best of luck this week.
Thanks.